Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All I Can Geek Gamecast, episode 637. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinside,
Ahoy.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 637 of the Gamecast. Guys, it's been a fun week for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I've finally finished the game,
Completed?
but finally finished the game for a long time. But first, I would like to remind you all we're live streaming on Twitch Tuesday nights. So if you're just joining us on this one, we have a movie cast beforehand. The recordings stay on Twitch, so you can watch those for like the week, but they're so quick to remove them. So check it out on YouTube if you don't see the live one, and subscribe to that channel. Good stuff. We have a lot of content on that channel. Like I think back to episode 200 or something. It's ridiculous how long that goes back on there. I do know our audio. I always forget to mention the audio, and I remembered finally to do it here. We still have audio podcasts, the old style stuff. So you can join us on iTunes, on the Apple Podcast stuff, and Apple Podcasts is what's called now, and Spotify. We're on there, I believe. Yes. So please, you can find our episodes. I think we're on iHeartRadio as well. I think I put us on there, which is weird. So, yeah, check that out. If we're not on there, let me know. Leave us a comment. Let me know. I will add us. Okay. So, welcome. Anyways, let's get this episode going. Like I said, I've been playing the hell out of Midnight Suns.
All right.
I'm
Yeah,
very
and-
tempted to pick up it. It's on sale on Steam for the digital plus edition is 50% off.
Whatever
That's
that
a
means.
great
There's a lot of weird sort of
Corey, no.
It's a 70
editions.
Not until
I'm
you beat
$70
Xenoblade.
version.
Not until you beat
Well, no, I
Xenoblade.
know. I'm just saying I could get it 50% off. I'm
If
not
you
playing
wait,
anything
it'll
else.
be 60% off by the time you're done with Xenoblade.
That's fair.
He's
You
not
never know.
wrong. He's not wrong.
But no,
Listen,
I have not purchased any
Listen,
Midnight Suns. So.
It's a great game,
I will
but
play
it does
this
take
before.
it does take a little bit for it to all click together in terms of the combat style, because they introduce it in parts, and when you really get into the combo cards and the leveled up cards and the basic cards, kind of mixing together the good flow. I gotta say, man, I had an XCOM moment at the end of this game. I was like,
Nice.
I wiped a couple times in that. Mike, how bad was that last fight for you? That's gotta be. You played it on hard, right?
Yeah, but I was kind of grindy a little bit beforehand,
Okay.
so
I thought
I
it
mean,
was
it-
too, though. I took my
it
time. I
took
thought.
it took a few times. It wasn't
Yeah.
which
I went-
which I normally I was at the point where normal missions were pretty easy for me, but this one I'm like, oh, I'm dying.
Yeah. I wiped.
But,
I
no,
wiped
it was a
4
little
times.
hard.
I wiped 4 times, and finally I came up with a strategy of just to hell with the minions, blitz the boss, and
I don't remember. I think that's what I did too. In the end.
yeah, and Captain Marvel saved the world. It was great.
She's got good tools in this game.
Yeah, she does. And she was my favorite early character, but I stopped using her for a little bit. And this game is awesome about the cool thing about this game is it really intertwines the characters. So you have your favorites, but then they get you to like your other you move on.
They occasionally force you to at least include certain characters on your teams.
Yeah, and that's what's so good about the game though, because you don't have guys that you guys can play the game and you will experience the heroes and you'll be like, holy crap, this is a cool combo. I'm gonna use this guy more or this girl more. You know what I mean? You're just gonna throw them in, and there's characters that Magica ended up being one of my favorite characters.
Magic?
Magic. Magic. Sorry, I said Magic.
Yeah.
Jeez, Magic with a K.
Mhm.
And Colossus's sister
Yeah,
was
yeah.
one of my favorite characters.
Ileana.
I got her legendary. I unlocked her legendary outfit. I really enjoyed her story and her character. It was a lot of fun. The whole game was great. The like I said, the crypt, the mansion or whatever it is.
Yes, the
so much
Abbey
fun.
area.
So,
yeah.
I didn't even uncover all the secrets there. I could go back, but
there's more
for
to
me,
do.
There was always more, but I've decided let me install some other stuff. So I did. I started the Pentiment.
Okay.
Not what I was expecting.
See, I tried to
Mike
say,
warned you.
I
so here's the
tried to
thing.
buffer you for that as much
No,
as
you
I
did.
could.
You did, Mike. I will say this right now that I managed to go into this not knowing at all what this game was. At all. I know basically it was a very popular game. Yeah, I know. No, that's great. Listen.
You're
I
not listening to
tried.
me at all.
No, I understood what Mike said. Besides that, though, I went into this with no issues, no
Expectations.
Preconceived
except
notions.
except I saw it on a bunch of the year lists. That was it. So I'm like, I went into it and I'm like, man, Mike's not wrong. It's very overrated. Like I'm not finding the fun myself. And I've played it for probably two hours, and I'm like,
Give up, man. There's way
it's
better
quirky.
games.
Yeah,
Just
no,
give
it's
up.
quirky, and
Just
it's
give
like I kind of would get the appeal. It's an old school style narrative game,
Or
but I'm
next
like,
to Stray, let them have fun together.
the reason why those games aren't
Um,
created anymore is that there's so much more out there nowadays that you can enjoy. Like it's just
what have you done in the game so far? Anything?
no. I mean, I've chatted with a bunch. You only chat with people, and you solve some quick puzzles, and like I think for me, I've walked around the world about a billion times. That's what it feels like. I just kind of move around, and then people follow me and have chit chats, conversations with me. And I'm like, just leave me alone. Why are you following me? And
Just move on.
you know,
Just
and
move on.
yeah,
No, I would say give it to there's gonna be like a sort of like a chapter break time jump thing.
Just give up.
I'm not gonna give it there because what I will tell you guys is I decided to actually move on. Surprised. To Hi-Fi,
I was
Hi-Fi
just about to
Rush.
say. I was about to say.
Hi-Fi Rush,
To what?
Hi-Fi Rush, Hi-Fi Rush. Isn't that what it's
Oh
called?
yeah. See, this is the thing. Game Pass secretly, well, not secretly, but like stealthily has like 3 like double A releases in like the last like week or
Yeah,
two out of
this
nowhere on Game Pass.
game is great. Like
They're all
I'm
considered good.
very much enjoying this
Well,
game. Like
sort of good.
I'm very much enjoying this game a lot.
Cool.
Like I love the style. I love the art style. I actually love the gameplay mechanic with the music mixed in. Sure, it's a little bit basic, but you can forgive that as a double A game. You know what I mean? Like it's not meant to be epic scale. It's a fun, quick game, and I'm really enjoying this game quite a bit. It's a great, I guess, palate cleanse from an 80-hour game.
Yeah.
That's it. So I will highly recommend this so far, especially if you're into anime, and it's such a great
Rhythm games too. Rhythm games.
rhythm game.
Yeah.
It's a rhythm game, but it's like the anime style just hooked me on it right away.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed that intertwine of it. So it was good.
Cool.
So that's it for me. Corey, are you doing Xenoblade still?
Still going with Xenoblade.
Did you get
Checking
a
in.
new,
Full
did you
hours
get a new
here.
party
Just checking
number at
in.
least?
Not yet, no.
Dude, you're taking it way too slow. It should not be this long until you get the next party member.
Okay.
Just stop and play Marvel's Midnight Suns instead.
And then he's got 80 hours
way.
of that. It's like 60 hours. It is like 60 hours of this
Yeah.
game.
You can mainland do that one quicker, I think.
I think for me, and I don't play everything on the side. I do think my playtime was like 46 or 47 hours of that game.
That's
And I don't do
mean,
everything.
It's value right there.
Sure, but you don't need that right now, Corey. You don't need it.
No, I'm not. There's no game I'm playing other than Xenoblade right now.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
That's all. That's focus.
The
All
only
right.
thing that I would be doing here and there is just play a match of Snap every once in a while because it's like 5 minutes.
Yep. I'm still doing that too.
I
Me.
didn't appreciate how small
Tony-
the decks are in Snap. Like it's 12 cards,
cards,
and
that's
so
it.
it's like, and so you can really, because like the deck construction for me is I hate deck construction.
Yep.
Well, with Snap is kind of fun where you can just mess around and like, oh, I can see the combos. I just need a card that can do this one thing, so I'm just gonna swap it and then just play a quick round and see how it goes. So I do like that, and you can kind of get into a little bit of a, it's like, oh damn, like half hour's gone by.
Yep.
So like, oh.
Yeah.
So Tony, what have you been playing?
So me, did a little bit more of Fire Emblem. I took a break though because the third DLC pack is coming out tomorrow, I think. So I was like, well, let me just wait for that.
3 already. Dang.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the game's been apparently it was done for like a little bit, so they sat, Nintendo just like Metroid Prime Remastered, they sat on it for a little bit. We're like, let's just pad out the year, find those gaps in the release schedule and stuff like that. So in the time I wanted to make use of my Game Pass 3-month because it's ending at the end of the month. So I downloaded both Hi-Fi Rush and Wo Long. But I decided
What was that
to
one?
Wo Long.
Wait, what was that one?
Well,
it's
That's,
Oh,
that's
Mulan.
the
Okay,
new.
got it,
It's
okay.
the new sort of Souls-like thing.
Yeah, Wo Long Fallen Dynasties by Team Ninja, published by Koei Tecmo, obviously, and stuff like that. It's like a Sekiro Soulsborne combination thing.
Okay, I saw that previewed someplace. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So I'm liking it for the most part. I'm just a little shy, I think, of halfway. And I started it like Friday or whatever like that. So it's not like a long game at all. I'm conflicted because there are elements I like about it. Or like the combat itself is really fluid and fast, and I like that, like parrying and stuff like that. But there are just so many things that like kind of annoy me. Where I'm like, I just want to be playing Sekiro right now. Like it's like maybe I should just boot that game up because I own it and stuff like that. But you could definitely tell it's more of like a double A, kind of thing where they wanted to capitalize on the popularity of obviously Sekiro, because like they had Neo, which came out, and made a sequel to that, and that was more of the Dark Souls esque, and this just kind of feels like a bit more of the Sekiro, because you have like in that you had like posture, where you had like a health meter, but you also had a posture meter, and if you break posture, you get exploited for like or have an opening for like a finisher, fatal attack, whatever. So it goes both ways. But the first boss, oh my god, like I cannot believe what kind of like Margit in Elden Ring. Like the first boss is equivalent to that. Like, because the first boss, you only have 3 health potions, and they only restore 50% of your health or whatever like that. And here I am, just like, okay, whatever, and I'm just like learning the system, stuff like that. And I come close like the second attempt and the third attempt, and I'm like, okay, and then whatever. And mild spoiler alert, I kill him, like, okay, that wasn't so bad. First boss has a second form, like full ass transformation second form. I'm like, what are you doing to me? Like, why does the first boss have a second transformation? You have 3 health potions that barely restore any health. I was just like so mad. And the way the game kind of like forces you to play is a little bit not to my liking, where like you're just better off waiting for them to attack and just parrying, rather than like trying to do your own combo, where it's just like they'll just eat your attack, and you'll do like that, a sliver of health, and then they'll just counter you, or like use an attack that gives them super armor for a couple frames, and then just devastate you. I'm like, come on, game. And I even did this for the one boss. I was just like, I'm just gonna parry. I'm not even gonna attack you until I can parry you, and that's it. So it's good. It's just not great, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Okay.
So.
All right, Mike.
So, well, I did briefly check out the Venom DLC in Midnight Suns. I didn't go too far into it. I'm saving most of it for when I'm done with Like a Dragon Ishin, which I've been plugging away at the whole week. I'm almost done. I'm in like the last chapter right now. And it's pretty good. It's about what I expected. I talked about it a bit last week, but definitely opened up more abilities, and the combat's feeling a little more vibrant to me here. You definitely have good options with the sword and gun stuff. And, I don't. My biggest problem with this is, so they have the likenesses of characters from previous Yakuza games plugged into all these like new or historical characters from this game. So I'm trying to remember their old name, trying to remember who they were. Meanwhile, they have a new name, and obviously I don't speak Japanese, so none of these automatically register as names to me to begin with, so it's kind of hard for me to keep track. So I am very confused about who's where and what and why a lot, just because of the names and how everyone is like 2 people, sort of. That I'm trying to
their like modern person. Like, does it matter?
For them. I mean, it's a clue, like sort of, because the good guys are probably going to be good, and the bad guys are probably going to be bad. And the guy who's like the guy, like Ryoma and Otika or something, who are basically Kiryu and Majima. They're basically the same character, just reincarnated. Some of them are more similar to their characters than others, but it's an interesting layer to it that you kind of want to appreciate as a fan of the series. But I'm so like mixed up with everything, because it does delve pretty deep into because this is apparently based on somehow, probably very loosely, based on actual Japanese like history. Like some of these events, there really was a Sakamoto Ryoma in real life that was involved with unifying Japan at this time period. But yeah, it gets pretty thick. But I don't know. I'm not quite done with it, and I do feel like the setting is a little less interesting than a modern setting. But I like it. It's probably like in the middle of my Yakuza game tier list, I would say,
Nice.
at this point.
That's good.
Which is fine. It's what I was looking for.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Let's go into a little bit of news here. I don't know. Bad. let's see what I'm gonna start off with here. I guess we'll start off with a delay. Wolf Among Us 2. If you remember the Telltale game, which we're all excited for because we don't know what it's going to be, has unfortunately been delayed out of 2023. So we're gonna have to wait.
Seems
Yeah.
like so crazy to me because they were pumping them out, like not these guys.
Well,
This is not
yeah, I
Telltale
know.
anymore, but like
This is
they're
zombie
pumping, like,
Telltale now.
6 of them out every year it seemed, and they just got oversaturated, and now they can't get this out in 3 years.
Like that's the thing. Like it's a narrative-based game with choices. How crazy?
Well,
how crazy does it have to be?
Maybe
we
that's
saw
why.
with them what happens when they do rush them out. They were kind of a mess, technically.
Technically, yes. But the games were good story. Like this is one of the best stories I've experienced in the Telltale universe. Like I loved this first game so much. And I get it. There might be some pressure, but to delay it for that long, I mean, that's crazy. I thought November. I really thought like Corey. I thought you were anticipated. This is anticipated for you, right? One of your most.
Yeah, it was one of my most anticipated this year.
I really thought that was a hit. You got to add that to your list next year, I guess.
Yes.
But
It's
crazy though.
happens a lot.
Run it back. Right.
I mean, it's crazy.
Run it back, yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how it.
Because because we don't really know how zombie Telltale operates. We don't know what this means
it's
really.
like it could be a new like we don't know who's there or anything like that. So just I don't know. I'm kind of not expecting anything.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Sony's Dirty Laundry. Yeah. We can talk with that one, and then we'll finish with the other stuff. But yeah. So I guess there was news posted. So now we all know about the Microsoft FTC. Well, not FTC. About the monopoly thing with the EU and being with Activision purchase. So Microsoft is going to court with this, trying to fight this. Sony is one of the big opponents of this acquisition that Microsoft's trying to do. And so Microsoft is being would you say bad sport?
I think this is all part of it.
It's all part of it.
Of it
together.
I mean, nobody's
once
being
you get
a good
into
sport, so.
Once you get into the weeds like this, this is all going to come out.
Like Sony's doing the same thing on this side, but I get it. Like they're the biggest ones that were like bringing up the problem with it. So Microsoft's dragging them in, and so what's happening now is apparently there was some stuff that Microsoft requests to get released from them, which is basically their exclusivity contracts from 2019 on. Actually, they tried to do from 2012 on. The judge approved 2019 on, apparently. So we might be getting a lot of details about the exclusive content that hit PS4, PS5, and see what Sony has actually paid for this stuff. Like the Wolverine games, probably Wolverine's exclusive, right?
So we're
gonna know what that. We gotta know what Spider-Man was that they paid Marvel for. It's interesting on our side in terms of the, what we can discuss. We're going to hear about some crossplay issues, like what games were blocked from crossplay from Sony and why they did that. Apparently, these emails have to come out, so they're going to be dumping all of that. It's going to be interesting on that side of things. I don't know.
It's just it's a vehicle for us to get information, but in the end, it's like.
Is it a good thing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's. I'm kind of neutral on it. I mean, unless like something like outrageous gets revealed, it's kind of like, I assume.
Exactly. Just gonna
we
be
know
stuff
that
where
they
it's
blocked.
Like, right. We
knew they
knew
blocked
it.
crossplay.
Right.
Yeah,
We knew it. And other developers came out and said it. And I mean, it took Epic being like, "Oops, we accidentally enabled it for Fortnite for a weekend. Our bad." To like be like, there's nothing for Sony that they need to do to activate this. It's just they need to officially allow it and stuff like that. So whatever.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Microsoft, what they're doing here is trying to show. It's the EU. I think they're trying to impress. Am I not wrong right now at this point? Mm-hmm. So I think they're trying to show that look, Sony is doing this already, and we're buying this company to do the same thing. I think that's what they're just at this point. They've tried to show that they're trying good faith by releasing games on Nintendo. I think they realize that the EU is not buying that argument anymore, and they're just trying to change things to show, like, well, look, this is happening in the game industry.
That was my whole point. It's like Activision, Blizzard, King could have released any of these fucking games on Nintendo Switch.
Sure.
Like, there's no reason that they shouldn't. It's honestly bad. Like, I mean, some of them did. Like, you look at Overwatch and Diablo and stuff like that, but like Call of Duty, they just don't want to invest in another studio to do a downport or something like that. But whatever. Microsoft tries to be they want to portray themselves as the good guy. Like we're bringing games to gamers. We're a gamer's friend. We want to do this. It's just like whatever. Like shut the fuck up. I don't know. Just this whole thing rubs me the wrong way. And like I swear
it's
to God,
a purchase. It's one of the largest companies being purchased, and I understand like absolutely that's a massive impact on the gaming industry, and that's why I mean obviously it's not good for consolidation, especially something of that size.
Yeah.
So
because if this
yeah.
does go through, and I put this as a bold
I think it's
prediction.
going to.
If it does go through, then Sony's just going to do it, and they're going to turn around. They're going to buy somebody else, and it's just market's
Well,
gonna
isn't there like a bunch of rumors like they're just kind of just like fake, but they were gonna buy Take-Two.
Yeah, I think that one.
Sony.
I think that one was fake. It's probably more
Possible.
likely at this point Square Enix. They cut a lot of their fat off. They folded the Luminous Studios back into mainline.
Yeah,
Square
this
Enix.
would be
Knew that.
on discount right now.
There's a new president coming in who's only been at the company for like 2 or 3 years, so it's like
Right.
I'm like I don't know. That looks like it's got lined up.
I mean,
acquisition here.
it makes sense that they're like not doing well lately anyway. So
Oh.
Square Enix.
No, they're doing all right.
And they have a lot. They have so like one game could not be good for them. They've actually.
I mean, yeah, the Western
diversified
games,
their-
but like they're
Yeah,
East.
I just look at they were Avengers also, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. I said, like, the
Avengers and
Western,
Forspoken are
enough to
pretty
where
high
they can take a hit.
profile.
Yeah, but they've done enough now. Like old Square, that was the end of it. But like they diversified enough now between companies that they can take a hit. Actually, I think they're selling that now. It's just because you just cut the loose, right? Is that what they're trying to do?
yeah. Well, I
but-
mean, that's the thing. Like I said, they cut the fat. They gave these studios an honest chance, which is good. It's respectable. Because I mean, they could have just pulled up, just to call Microsoft out, like been like, oh, we're gonna cancel this game, like Scalebound or whatever. But they're like, no, hey, make this game, and if it sells great, then awesome, you'll get to make more. And if it doesn't, no.
Oh,
We see
find
what
a job.
we saw what happens with that. You're gonna have a new role in the company.
Yep.
So yeah, their Western studios underperformed. Their mainline studios are overperforming. Final Fantasy 16 is probably gonna sell 10 million units or so.
Oh yeah.
Final
In fact,
Fantasy 14 train is
I'm
going.
playing that
I
one.
mean, I'm getting it at
Yeah.
some
I'm
point.
playing 16, so
Yeah,
I can't wait. Last thing in the news, we've got the Kojima post about being at Microsoft Game Studios.
Yeah.
What are we
Oh,
getting?
boy.
This is nothing.
What are we getting?
Nothing. This is nothing.
We're getting a game. We're getting a game.
This is a nothing.
You think
Why-
so?
We're not getting a game from this, really? You don't think so?
For Xbox, I mean, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a game for everybody.
You know what?
Sure.
You know what it might be. Because the previous what the hell's his weird ass game called? Death Stranding. Since that's on the
Well,
first
they're
one's on
making a
Game
sequel.
Pass, the sequel might be also on Game Pass.
What if-
That's what
what
I
if-
think.
What
They
if
might
I
announce
made a bold prediction on this one where
Day one,
he's
maybe.
making another game and it will be exclusive, like Death Stranding was to PS4?
I mean, it could be, but it'd be a
the Metal
smaller
Gear-
game. He doesn't have the big
Nothing-
studio to do
It
that.
won't be. No, it won't be a big game. It's not like I'm not giving a Death Stranding sized game, but I think it could be a small, bite-sized exclusive game for the
PT2?
Xbox.
Yeah, PT.
Sure, something small.
Another
but, like,
trailer.
quick, but a fun game. Like he's trying to make a game, but it will be exclusive to the Xbox console. That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe
Whatever.
we'll see. I don't think it's anything though, because
I don't think it'll be any big.
Kojima loves to just rub elbows with any industry folks, and like I mean, he was visiting Valve just a couple months ago.
True.
So,
Yeah.
it's just
What? Oh, I forgot to put that in the news. What about the news about Counter-Strike 2 finally?
yeah.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike 2, and then they'll never get a Counter-Strike 3 because they don't know how to count. They can only count to 2. That's it.
Two's it. We're done.
Two's it.
There's no numbers after 2. What are you talking
No,
about?
it's just 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
it's
see a
crazy
Portal
that we
3
could.
anywhere.
I can't believe we're gonna get a Counter-Strike 2. I just can't believe this finally.
It is crazy. I mean, the game is going on strong, but I guess at some point you gotta,
Just overhaul it and
Overhaul.
bring it up to the Fortnite Apex /
Sure.
Warzone levels.
Oh, speaking of Fortnite, I heard there's a rumor that apparently a first-person mode is coming to
Let's see
Fortnite.
that.
Mm,
I saw that actually. Somebody leaked it, right?
Yeah,
Was it leaked or was
that's
it?
usually how that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I how does that gonna work? Do you think that's gonna take off? No. I don't know.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
is it
it
just a
matters.
mode or is it a?
It's going to be in mode. It's got to be in mode.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
no way
mind
they
it,
change their bread and butter. You're not going to tinker with that much, right? You got to keep the same. And
I,
just
I
have it as a
figure
mode.
I figure it'd be an option for the player if they want to do that, like kind of like how the Battlefront games work, where you can choose either or and just play and
Isn't that game
whatever.
based on traversal, like, and building up? Like, how is that going to work in first person?
Not
That's a lot
necessarily.
to
There
ask.
are modes without
And
the building in it.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it'll be an experiment, and they'll get the feedback. But I mean, like the whole like no building mode, that was only after what years? Because like that's what I said the first time. I was like, I played one game of Fortnite, and I got to the top like 2 or 3 or whatever it was, and then I had no idea what was going on because people were just building skyscrapers. I didn't have one, so I just died. And I was like, I don't know how to build. That's not fair. Like fuck this.
And I'm not good
you
at
know?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
So like it's like, well, fuck this game. I'm not learning this.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So, all right, and I think that's. Do we have anything else? I think that's about it, right? I didn't miss anything else.
It's
I
Mario.
almost forgot. I almost went to Counter Strike. What's that?
Mario Day in 3 days. A lot of Mario.
Pokemon
Yeah.
Day happened too.
Oh, Pokemon
Pokemon
Day
Day.
happened. Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Nothing really noteworthy. Just
There's nothing.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see anything.
DLC,
Mario
I mean,
Days.
yeah.
Mario Days in 3 days. What are we expecting? Anything from that?
No, it's
gonna
just
talk more about the movie.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I can't wait. And obviously, it's not the movie cast, but can't wait. Like I'm
Yep.
super excited for this.
Yep.
So, the Jack Black promo, by the way, this week on what was it?
Bowser Jr., man.
Great. Jack Black is so awesome.
yeah.
But all right, that's gonna wrap up this episode then, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, we're live streaming on Twitch Tuesday night starting at 8:00. So join us live. If you can't make those broadcasts, join us on YouTube the following day. And our audios are always still, like I said, on iTunes and Spotify and wherever you can find us, hopefully. And
Wherever you
comment.
get your podcasts.
We'd love to hear you guys talk to us. Send us some comments, some questions. We will answer them on
Yep.
the air.
Thanks,
And
Churro.
we'll see you guys. Yeah, thanks, Cheryl, for joining us, and we'll see you guys soon. We're out.